Welcome to the Sober Biz Podcast, the show for the bold, the brilliant, and the booze-free. Here we talk about building meaningful booze-free businesses, turning your mess into your message, and showing up even when you feel like an imposter. This is no fluff and no filters, honest conversations for alcohol-free entrepreneurs who want to make an impact. Have you ever felt when you're successful in your business that your life is falling apart? That when you're successful in your business, your health starts falling apart. When you're successful in your business, your family is suffering. When you're successful in your business, your recovery is suffering or your mental health is suffering. If that's you, I really want you to listen to this episode because honestly, that has been my story for almost 3 years, almost since I started my business. Entrepreneurship is not what everybody online says. It's not what these business gurus are telling you. It is actual therapy, development on crack. And I know what I'm talking about when I say on crack. Do not start a business if you don't want to work on yourself more. Because I'm telling you right now, from day one, my business has shown me more about where I still need to do some deep healing than anywhere else in my life. I did a lot of work in sobriety. Obviously, that cracked me open in such incredible ways. I became a brand new person. I saw a lot of hurt, a lot of deep wounds that needed healing. I worked with a therapist. Being a mom did that for me, showed me a lot of things that I needed support in, where I needed to start learning to ask for help, where I needed to just let go of control and go with the flow and be present as possible. In my marriage, I've had a lot of development. It is another mirror to all of the spaces where I still have character defects. But in business, I never thought business was going to give me this deep of a healing journey. I thought I had seen all my wounds. I thought I had worked through all my insecurities. But when I started my business, they came up to the surface and were just so wild and so present to the point where I was having trouble just responding to an email. There was so much insecurity hiding under the surface that I thought I had worked through, but it was just waiting for me to expand and to step into this life that I think I'm meant for. I'm definitely meant for, but was beyond the scope of anything I thought was possible in my life. And when you're operating at the level, when you're stepping into that level, it is absolutely terrifying. It is so scary. It is so unknown. And I constantly was walking with this insane amount of imposter syndrome. The bigger my life got, the more clients I got, the more recognition I got, the more I was booked solid, the more money I was making, the more insecure I felt, the more like a fraud I felt. Even though there was no evidence showing that I was a fraud, I felt like a fraud. I felt like I was going to screw this up, that this couldn't be real. And what happened was I eventually really messed things up. I overcommitted. I promised things that I couldn't deliver. I showed up in ways that I'm not proud of, that just didn't make me feel good, that weren't meeting the expectations of who I wanted to be as a business owner. And I really had to learn to accept, to honor, to appreciate where I was at. That just because I hadn't hit the level that I want to be at yet didn't mean that I was unresponsible or not reliable or not good enough. It meant that I had 3 kids at home and life was hard and life was heavy and I was grieving and I had postpartum depression and I had really heavy, deep losses in my life. And it was okay that I couldn't meet my own expectations. It's okay that I let people down because I was willing to make amends for it. It's okay that I wasn't perfect and that I was messy because that's where I was learning the most and learning who I wanted to be in business. When I messed up and those things happened, I knew this isn't what I want. This isn't who I want to be. This isn't how I want to show up. So how do I become that person? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do? What do I need to let go of? What expectations do I need to let go of so I'm not beating myself up here? I had to do some really deep inner work. And I just wanted to share this message because I know how hard it is. I know how almost impossible it feels sometimes to keep going and how really tempting that F it button is. and how hard it is to show up and let yourself be seen, especially for your brilliance, for your art, for your amazing mind and your ideas. Put that stuff out in the world is so vulnerable. And I see you. And especially when we're showing up and we're getting crickets and it feels like a rocky start or we made a bad first impression, it can be so easy to just crumple up the paper, throw it away, open a fresh sheet, start again, leave that old business behind and walk away from it. It's so easy to do that and so tempting. But I want to tell you that if you stick to it, if you keep going, if you work through those feelings of insecurity, those feelings of self-doubt, you work on yourself, you grow, you learn how to set boundaries, you learn your capacity. And honestly, I wish there was a better way, but the only way to learn those things is to mess up, to make the mistakes, to overcommit yourself and let people down, to know how that feels and to not want to do it again. That really is the only way to learn those lessons, especially for my brain, because we are not a typical neuro, we are a divergent one. So it's extra hard to learn things just by hearing about them for me. I really need to feel that discomfort to know that this isn't what I want in my life so that I can change. So I'm hoping by listening to this episode, if you got nothing else out of it, that you just feel seen, that you just feel like I'm not crazy or I am good enough, I can do this. It's just hard because you are good enough. You wouldn't have this desire to put something into the world, to make a difference, to show up, to show yourself. That desire wouldn't be on your heart if you weren't worthy of it, if you weren't good enough. And to be honest, we got ChatGPT now. We got AI. If you need to learn something to get good enough to do whatever it is you need to do, you can learn it. You can learn it in a day in most cases. Please don't give up on yourself. And one of the reasons why I created the Sober Biz Collective was so that we could have these conversations, so that we could open up with each other and really share in depth what it is like to be an entrepreneur, to be working on ourselves and our recovery and try and show up for our families and our clients. How are we setting our boundaries? What's lighting us up? What equipment's worth the actual investment and what can you pass on? What subscriptions do you really need? All these conversations that have bogged down the last 3 years of my life, I want to have them with other entrepreneurs in recovery that are doing the same thing. So what I've put together is something called the Biz Hive. And it's going to be a place where we can really connect and have these deep conversations, support each other, promote each other, just love on each other's content and things that we're creating in the world, and become a community for people in recovery, for people who aren't drinking alcohol and are in business and are doing this heavy lifting and this heavy work without numbing out. So if that sounds amazing to you and you want to get involved, head over to soberbizco.com. I'm going to have a link there for you where you can actually sign up and get 3 months free. Thank you so much for listening. I am just over the moon with this relaunch of our brand and of this podcast, and I can't wait to speak with more sober entrepreneurs and hear your stories and really connect and support each other. Crazy. Every time I do a live in-person networking event, we get 15 new people in that group that aren't just in there to look, but really want to engage and want to build something. So please go check it out and share what you're up to. Share links to your latest YouTube video. Let us support you. Thank you so much. I'm signing off. I cannot wait to see you in the Biz Hive. Leave a comment on this episode, share it with your friends, make sure you review, do all the things you need to do, because I just feel like this is something that needs to be seen. It needs a voice. Sober entrepreneurship is no joke. So please share it with a sober entrepreneur that you know, and I will see you here next week.